I'm Steve Turano with Ask a Real Expert. Lee sent me a bunch of questions and they're very insightful. He said, Steve, do you do your sprints at the beginning, at the middle, or at the end of your cardio? Lee, I typically warm up first with like a quarter of a mile jog, and then I do my wind sprints, and then I might finish with a quarter of a mile jog at the end. I don't like starting off with wind sprints because I'm not warmed up or stretched out, and I don't want to pull anything. So usually I do some type of simple running. Now if it's after a weightlifting workout, you don't have to run that far, just maybe 200 or 300 yards. But again, if I'm just fresh at doing it and I haven't worked out or done anything for the day, usually I like to jog at least a quarter of a mile just to loosen everything up. With regards to cardio and weight training, as far as effectiveness of the cardio, it doesn't matter whether you do it before your weight training or after your weight training. I will say this, if you do hard, heavy weight training, if you run beforehand, it's just enough to pull that much glycogen out of your body where you don't have the snap. Okay, so I much prefer doing my weight training first and then doing my cardio afterwards. Because again, with cardio, it's not nearly 100% effort like weight training. When you're lifting weights, it's 100% effort or pretty darn close to it. So any decrease in muscle glycogen will be noticed if you're lifting intensely and really heavy. If you're not, if you're just sort of, going through the motions, and it's not going to make much of a difference. But for guys who are really trying to maximize the potential of their weight training, the trick is to do your weight training first and then your cardio second. Now your third question is very, very insightful. You're into martial arts. Should you do weight training on a Bosu ball to help increase your stability, your proprioception, your neurological response? Should you do that with weight? Will that help your martial arts? And my answer is no. Let me give you an example why. Let's say you are going to be walking across a tightrope. And we've all seen people walking across tight ropes with those 20-foot bars that are heavy. They're meant to give them stability and balance. But you know what? If you practice with that bar and get that additional balance and stability, you're not benefiting yourself because you got to walk across that wire without it. So I'd much rather practice without that stability bar. So I get the proprioception, the neurological responses. I develop the coordination without it. So with regards to weight training, when you're standing on a Bosu ball trying to balance and lift heavy weights, you're not really recreating your martial arts moves. You're just trying to lift weights. And that doesn't help really your martial art moves at all. You have to actually practice those. So I like to tell people weightlifting and cardio, weightlifting and your activity should be kept separately. So in other words, go to the gym, work out safely, intelligently, effectively. That's why I always say, train safe, train smart. So go there, lift hard, lift heavy. Then you take that newfound muscle and that newfound strength and you mold it. You create coordination with it. You apply your new neurological pathways through practice. So you take your muscles and your new strength and you practice with it, and then you're able to apply that newfound strength and newfound size with martial arts, or baseball, or football, or basketball. So imagine a gymnast, male or female, doing the rings, or the uneven bars, or the floor exercises with weights tied around their butt, or weights in their hands. Wouldn't be very effective, would it? But if they went to the gym, worked out, and then they took this newfound strength and made that newfound strength and muscle coordinated through practice, then they could utilize that muscle that much more effectively. So all those guys who are in Major League Baseball, they go to the gym, work out, get huge, and what do? Then they go to the field and practice hitting balls over the fence. That's what needs to be done. So again, when you intermingle these two, it makes the training less effective and it makes it much more dangerous. So again, people want to try to make this more than it really is. It's simply weight training. You take that weight training, you gain new size, you gain new strength, and then you apply the coordination to that new muscle and that additional strength through practice. I'm Steve Turano. Train smart, train hard, love your body.